If you are an Australian pensioner, or if you are approaching pension age, and you have not sat down in the last 3 months to review exactly what Centrelink is doing and what has changed, then this video is for you. Because 2026 has brought a series of rule changes, threshold adjustments, and policy updates to the age pension and the broader Centrelink system that are already affecting the payments of millions of Australians. Some of these changes are putting more money into pensioners' pockets. Some of them are quietly reducing payments for part pensioners who have not been warned. Some of them are opening up new eligibility that previously did not exist. And some of them involve a little-known health card that most self-funded retirees have never applied for, even though it could save them thousands of dollars per year. So stay with me, because by the end of this video you will have a complete picture of every significant Centrelink rule change that has affected Australian seniors in 2026, what each change means specifically for your pension, payment or eligibility, and the exact steps you need to take right now to make sure you are on the right side of every single one of these updates. Welcome back to Centrelink Insider AU, the channel that makes sure you get every dollar you are entitled to in retirement. If you are new here, subscribe right now and turn on notifications, because we cover every Centrelink and age pension update every single week. And share this video with every pensioner you know, because what I am covering today is a comprehensive update that every Australian retiree needs to hear. Now let us get straight into it. Let us start with the change that has affected the largest number of pensioners in 2026 and work our way through each update systematically. I want you to understand not just what changed, but exactly what it means for your specific situation. The first and most significant update is the March 2026 indexation. From March 20, single pensioners received an extra $22.20 per fortnight, with the total rate increasing to $1,200.90. Couples saw a $16.70 lift in their payments each, with the amount each partner receives going up to $905.20. This affected more than 2.5 million age pensioners and allowed them to earn slightly more money and have higher value assets than before. Now, if you are on the full age pension, this update was applied automatically to your payment, and you should have seen it hit your bank account from the first payment after the 20th of March. If you noticed your payment went up by around $22 per fortnight, that is why. However, and this is the part that most people do not know, not every pensioner benefited equally from the March update. Thousands of income-tested part pensioners faced having their pension cut off, and many full pensioners saw their payments docked because of the simultaneous deeming rate increase. The pension went up by $22.20 per fortnight for full pensioners. But for part pensioners whose income is assessed under the income test, the higher deeming rates that came in on the same day may have reduced their payment at the same time as the indexation boosted it. For some part pensioners, these two effects roughly cancelled each other out. For others, the deeming increase outweighed the indexation boost, and their payment actually went down. If you are a part pensioner and you noticed your payment was lower than expected after March 20th, the deeming rate change is almost certainly the reason. The second update is to the deeming rates themselves, and this is the one that has caused the most confusion and the most concern among Australian pensioners in 2026. From the 20th of March 2026, the first $64,200 of your financial assets will have a deemed rate of 1.25% applied. Any assets above this will be deemed to earn 3.25% interest. To put this in plain English, Centrelink now assumes your savings and investments are generating more income than it previously assumed. A single self-funded retiree with $1 million in an account-based pension would see the deemed income rise from the current level of $26,216 to $31,216 a year under these new rates. That is a $5,000 per year increase in assumed income, none of which necessarily reflects what the money is actually earning, and that assumed income feeds directly into the income test and reduces the pension payment. This was the second time deeming rates have increased in the last 6 months, following the September 2025 increase. The practical implication is that if you have significant financial assets and you are receiving a part pension, your payment may have decreased in March, even though the headline pension rate went up. If you have not checked your payment details since March 20th, log into MyGov this week and compare your current fortnightly payment to what you were receiving before that date. The third update involves the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, and this is the one that most self-funded retirees have never heard about, even though it could genuinely save them thousands of dollars per year. The Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, or CSHC, is a Centrelink issued card specifically for Australians who have reached age pension age, but who do not qualify for the age pension itself, most commonly because their income is above the pension income cutoff. If you are eligible for the CSHC, the benefits include cheaper prescription medicines through the PBS, bulk billed doctor visits at the discretion of your doctor, access to the extended Medicare safety net concessional benefit, and additional concessions from state and local governments depending on where you live. The key thing to understand about the CSHC is that it has no assets test. To qualify, you must meet the CSHC income test. There is no assets test. Centrelink assesses your and your partner's adjusted taxable income. The income threshold is $101,105 per year if you are single, and $161,768 per year for couples combined. That is a very high threshold. Many Australians with significant investment portfolios who would never qualify for the age pension itself can qualify for the CSHC because their assessable income under the CSHC test is lower than those thresholds. And the March 2026 deeming rate increase has actually made this more complicated because the CSHC is income tested and the rise in deeming rates may affect some people's eligibility. Some CSHC holders whose deemed income from account-based pensions was previously just below the threshold may now find their deemed income has been pushed above it by the March rate increase. If you hold a CSHC and you have not reviewed whether your deemed income still sits below the threshold since March 20th, do that this week. The fourth update is to the PBS prescription costs, and this one is genuinely good news for every pensioner in Australia. The general co-payment amount reduced to $25 for the calendar year of 2026, the lowest level in 20 years. For general patients without a concession card, PBS prescriptions that previously cost $31.60 now cost $25. But for pensioners with the pensioner concession card, the concessional co-payment amount remains at $7.70 and will remain at this level for 5 calendar years, from 2025 to 2029. This is a significant commitment. The concessional PBS co-payment is frozen at $7.70 per prescription until the end of 2029. For a pensioner on multiple medications, this frozen co-payment provides real certainty about medication costs for the next several years. From 1 January 2026, the general patient safety net threshold is $1,718.20. Once a person's total eligible payments for PBS prescriptions meet or exceed this amount, they may apply for a safety net concession card and pay the concessional co-payment amount of $7.70 for their remaining prescriptions that calendar year. For pensioners with high medication needs, understanding the PBS safety net and tracking your annual prescription spending is genuinely important. When you reach the safety net threshold, your remaining prescriptions for that year drop to the concessional rate, regardless of your card status. The fifth update is one that is coming rather than already here, but it is significant enough to cover now so you can plan for it. The federal government has announced it will increase the time pensioners can spend overseas from 6 to 12 weeks before their pension supplement is impacted. This change will kick in from the 20th of September 2026. The pension supplement is currently $86.50 per fortnight for singles and $65.20 each for couples. Currently, that supplement stops after 6 weeks overseas. From September 20th, it will continue for 12 weeks. This doubles the travel window for every Australian pensioner who wants to spend extended time overseas without their total pension payment being reduced. If you have family overseas, if you enjoy extended overseas travel, or if you have been limiting your trips to under 6 weeks specifically to protect the pension supplement, This change gives you significantly more flexibility from September 20th. The sixth update involves the work bonus arrangements and the opening balance for new pensioners. New pensioners now start with a $4,000 opening balance in their work bonus income bank. The work bonus allows age pensioners to earn a certain amount from employment without it being counted in the income test. The work bonus allows age pension recipients to earn up to $300 per fortnight from employment without it counting in the income test, in addition to the standard income-free area. Unused work bonus accrues into an income bank up to a maximum of $11,800. The $4,000 opening balance for new pensioners is a significant practical benefit. It means that from the moment you start receiving the pension, you already have a buffer of $4,000 in your work bonus bank. If you do any paid work in your first few months on the pension, that opening balance can absorb up to $4,000 of employment income before it starts affecting your pension payment. For new retirees who are transitioning out of part-time work gradually, this opening balance provides real financial flexibility. The seventh update is about the eligibility assessment changes and who may have become newly eligible since the March 2026 indexation. Approximately 1 in 3 people who check their age pension eligibility end up qualifying for the age pension. About 3/4 of people found to be eligible are not currently receiving Centrelink benefits. Every time Centrelink adjusts its thresholds, some retirees who were previously just over the cutoff come back under the new limits. Under the updated rules, asset thresholds increased in 2026. This means retirees can hold more assets before their age pension is reduced or cut off. If you checked your eligibility 6 months ago or a year ago and were told you do not qualify, the March 2026 threshold increases may have changed that. The specific change is that the upper assets test cutoff has increased. For a single homeowner, the upper cutoff where the pension stops entirely is now $695,500. For a single non-homeowner, it is $972,500. For homeowner couples combined, it is $1,045,500. If your assessable assets are below these figures, you may qualify for at least a part pension. And even a part pension gives you access to the pensioner concession card and all the savings that come with it. The eighth update involves a change to the concession card renewal process that came into effect in late 2025 and is still affecting pensioners in 2026. Centrelink tightened the automatic renewal process from November 2025, linking it directly to fortnightly income reporting. Pensioners temporarily losing eligibility due to slightly exceeding income or asset limits will receive a new 1-2 week grace period before the card is cancelled. This is actually a protective change. Previously, a temporary spike in income or assets could result in an immediate loss of concession card status. The new 1-2 week grace period means a temporary change in your financial position does not immediately strip your concession card. But the flip side of this change is that Centrelink is now more closely linking your concession card status to your fortnightly reporting. If you have been inconsistent with income reporting, the tighter monitoring introduced under the November 2025 changes means that inconsistencies are more likely to be picked up and may trigger a review of your concession card eligibility. Now let me bring all 8 of these updates together with the specific actions I want you to take this week. The first action is to log into MyGov and check your current fortnightly pension payment. Compare it to what you were receiving before March 20th. If it went up by approximately $22.20 as a single, or $16.70 as a couple, the March indexation was applied correctly. If it went up by less than that or went down, the deeming rate change has affected your income test assessment, and you should call Centrelink on 132300 to understand exactly how. The second action is to check whether you hold a Commonwealth Seniors Health Card or whether you might be eligible for one. If you are over 67, you do not receive the age pension, and your adjusted taxable income is below $101,105 for a single or $161,768 for a couple, you should apply for the CSHC immediately. The application is free, it is available through MyGov, and the benefits in reduced medication costs alone can save thousands of dollars per year. The third action is to make sure you are tracking your annual PBS prescription spending. If you are approaching the general patient safety net threshold of $1,718.20, ask your pharmacist to add your prescriptions to your safety net record. Once you reach the threshold, your remaining prescriptions for the calendar year drop to the concessional co-payment rate. The fourth action is to note the 20th of September 2026 inches your calendar as the date the new 1-2-week overseas travel rule takes effect. If you have any overseas travel planned in the second half of 2026, you now have twice the travel window before your pension supplement is affected. The fifth action is to review your work bonus bank balance if you do any paid work at all. Log into your Centrelink record through MyGov and check how much work bonus balance you have accumulated. If you are a new pensioner, you should have a $4,000 opening balance. Understanding your current balance helps you plan how much paid work you can do without it affecting your pension payment. And the sixth action is to check your current pension eligibility if you have not done so since the March 2026 threshold increases. Use the Payment and Service Finder on the Services Australia website. If your assessable assets are below the current upper cutoff thresholds and you are not currently receiving any pension, apply immediately. Do not wait for Centrelink to contact you. They will not. To wrap everything up, the new Centrelink rules most seniors have not heard about in 2026 include the March indexation that boosted payments for full pensioners but reduced them for some part pensioners due to simultaneous deeming rate increases. The deeming rates are now 1.25% and 3.25% applied to financial assets above $64,200 for singles. The Commonwealth Seniors Health Card is available to self-funded retirees with income below $101,105 and has no assets test. The PBS concessional copayment is frozen at $7.70 until 2029, and the general copayment has dropped to $25. From September 20th, pensioners can travel overseas for 12 weeks instead of 6 before the pension supplement is affected. New pensioners start with a $4,000 work bonus opening balance. Concession card renewals are now linked to fortnightly reporting with a 1-2-week grace period, and the March threshold increases may have made previously ineligible retirees newly eligible for a part pension. The rules change regularly. The money is there for those who know where to look. If this video helped you today, please give it a thumbs up, because it genuinely helps more Australians find this information when they need it most. Share this video with every pensioner you know, because these are the updates that are affecting payments right now and most people have not heard about them. Subscribe to Centrelink Insider AU because we are here every single week making sure you get every dollar you are entitled to. And drop a comment below telling me which of these 8 updates surprised you the most. I read every single comment and your questions shape what we cover next. Until next time, stay informed, stay protected, and take care of yourself.